All right, so once again, I'm here to do some easy analysis since it's a new week. Shall begin our analysis from the DXY. Uh, okay, now the DXY has been bullish for a number of weeks. As you can see, after this W pattern with that divergency, it went bullish for a couple of weeks, and there was no big retracement. Now, this box that I've put up here is an order block from the past, yeah, exactly from up here. So the DXY just broke through that, and this week, even though it was broken, I look for a retracement. Why? It's because I'm going to show you that on GBP So as you all know, I always get my main trend from the far time frame, and you can see that right here. Yeah, I always get my main trend from the far time frame, and the DXY has been bullish for some weeks. And looking through my indicators that at times I bring out, not to give me not to get a biased decision while analyzing the market, we can see that there is this divergence right above here. Yeah, it's not so big, but you can also see that we have this shark fin which happened here, and we have another shark fin right here. Now, the shark fin always happens if there is some action expected to the opposite direction. You can see that there's a shark fin here, and a shark fin here. So even though it has dropped so much below this, below the 50%, the 50 area, I expect it to just come back and bounce right here and continue with that drop. That's why you see me expecting buys on GBPSD. So after doing this, I come to the 1 hour time frame and not so much action there, but you can see that there is this gap that is also happening on GBPSD. And not only one broker, you can also see that this is FXCM, and you can see that there is this huge gap which has to be filled. Now, if you go to another broker, which is capital.com, you can see that there is also this divergence, which I expect to get filled before we see any other action. Now, starting on GBPUSD, these are the lines that I've had for a long period of years, and you can see that this is what we call psychological levels. The market gapped towards the highs and lows of the week of last week. As you all know, for those who have been trading GBPUSD, you know that the market will always come back to where the week began from. And you can see that last week when we had these were our setups, we had two profitable setups and one loss. Then we had a drop to the downside. Then what happened? The market just came back on Friday and tried to face where the week began from. Now, when Monday opened, it just gapped straight to where that week, the high and low of that week. Then we have this movement. Now, today being Monday, I took one setup to prepare me for this week, which I'm going to break down in a few minutes. But before that, GBPUSD has been moving to the downside, and we have had a solid downward movement, even on the 4 hour time frame. Look at this. From right above here, where this is M pattern happened, or double top, the market just kept pushing to the downside. Now, this was uh, the bias of the US elections. Yeah, that's why I expected the dollar to gain strength. Now, if you come back here, you can see that the market has been also bearish on the 1 hour time frame, of course, getting that top-down analysis. And then we have a new week here. So I'll go to the 15-minute time frame. We have the week begin from here after the gap, but we expect it to be filled. Now, what were the biases for this trade to the upside? I'm going to just do a breakdown. Look at how this market moved. I use trend lines, of course. Now look at this movement. Now, when the market gave me a pullback, I expected it to come and fill this gap here, but it did not. It just gave us a psychological level touch, stretch to the upside, and then when it came back to this point, I already had reasons as to why this market may want to give us a touch of this upper part of this week's high or last week's low. And you can see that when it came back here, I had this order block right here, or what most people are going to call a demand zone. Yeah, right from here. Now, why am I calling it a demand zone? It's because of the nature of how this market was moving. Now, I'll just zoom in a little bit. And see that. Now, this was our demand zone. The market pushed to the upside, came back and touched here. Now, of course, it gave us another demand zone, which was this week rejection. I hope you guys can see it. But I wouldn't enter again on this week rejection. Why? It's because I didn't have reasons to continue buying this market. Right down here, I had reasons because I had the W pattern, which is right here. Then I also had the psychological level right here. I had an engulfing candle, which was my entry. I had a trend line too, running to the upside. So I entered from here. My take profit was at this psychological level. Yeah, so I got around 40 pips actually. They're around 40 pips in profits. But my take profit was at this psychological level. I came in when it was up here, took out profit. The market has dumped. Now you can see that right here, this week rejection, it tapped this supply zone too. Because guys, I showed you a method of how you can get the best demand and supply zones. Now you can see that this one was stopped by that weak rejection right there. And there are so many reasons as to why this market is melting right now. Look at this candle, it tapped the supply zone. We have a psychological level. We have a low of last week. We have a high of this week close. The market just pushes to the upside. This is a fake out that we may get a pullback. Now, for those who enter in the 1 minute time frame, must have got it. But for me, that's not how I trade. Now, the market has dropped completely, broken this trend line. And see if you adjust this trend line a little bit, there's even a retest right here. This was a break, then the retest. And then there's that candlestick confirmation for the drop. Now, this drop may come in and fill this gap right here before we see it stretch. Actually, it begins from here. Before it see it stretch to give us a pullback, maybe to sell. But this week is still a biased week. It's showing us that there are sell opportunities, but I still expect more buy opportunities. But of course, Monday we don't trade. We are going to get the reasons as to why we're going to trade this week, tomorrow, Tuesday. So thank you for being here. Oh, I just give you guys an analysis on Bitcoin. Now, I've taken long minus trading Bitcoin, but let's just do analysis together. Now, Bitcoin has been bullish for most of the time because of the Trump news and elections. But since I'm a scalper, you can see that here we have what we call the equilibrium. Now, it has been playing around like this for some time, something that we should all be scared about. Look at this. Market has been moving like this. Now, I remember, if you all remember, I'll take you back to the 60s when it was still playing around the 60s. You can see all this was around the 60s, all this movement. And that movement was before. You can see how it moved right here. Now, this was also in the 60s. Then again, this was the all-time high for that year, 2021. Then we also have the way it started playing around in the 60s. And we can see that it approached a psychological level, which is 100,000. But you can see that every time the market gives us this push, we're going to have a retracement. So I still expect that retracement. That may even come up to the 80s. Who knows? Now, if you go down to lower time frames, you can see how it's just moving up here. Now, Bitcoin is highly volatile, so I'm not going to take unbiased decisions until I see a break below this. I saw the first break right here. The first break happened right here, and we saw the market thrash around here. This one happened, but I want to see that deep retracement. Deep retracement right to 97 again. If I see a dump, if it breaks below this, we may see 80s. Yeah, so that's my bias for this week. And let's see how this week holds on. Thank you for watching this video to the end. Join a Telegram community if you want to take part in trading and buy Afro token for those who do crypto. It's your next 1000x jump. Thank you for being here. Have a great time. Goodbye.